is a true story. I used to live in an old home, built back in the early 1900s. Built in 1919 to be exact. My parents bought the home in the mid-90s. I was about 5 or 6 years old. The house was very big, so it wasn't uncommon to have other relatives live with us from time to time or spend the night here and there. Everyone who stayed always had some strange experience happen to them. I remember a time when my uncle, who was a teenager at the time, came over to spend the night because he had an argument with my grandpa. He said he saw something in the house that freaked him out so bad that he rode his bike back home that night. The home was very old and had the original doors. The wooden floors were also original too. The home had a lot of character and almost drew you to it. But there was obviously something dwelling within the home, something we couldn't explain. The usual creepy things would always occur. You'd hear footsteps walking up the stairs at night. Movement in the kitchen downstairs. It sounded like someone was being dragged. Then there was the occasional lights turning off and on by themselves. I was so young, so I can recall most of the smaller incidents. It wasn't until I was older that my mother told me some of the creepier things that went on in that house. She told me that my dad was showering one day when he heard banging on the shower door. He asked, "Who is it?" There was no reply. The banging continued very loudly. My dad became very angry thinking it had to be me or my brother. He went to open the door, ready to give us what I'm sure would have been the biggest shout of his life. He opened the door and no one was there. He called out to my mom and asked her if she had seen who was banging so loudly on the door. My mom assured him that there was no one banging and she heard nothing. There was so much more that went on in that house. Don't get me started on the red eyes my brother saw glaring at him from under the stairs. I'll save that story for another day. Until next time.